Hello and welcome back. Hold on. Who's this? I am Luke. Luke. And I'm borrowing equipment from the other guy who normally streams on this channel. And if you're wondering, I would wave, but the reality capture that is showing my face is unfortunately not totally ready yet. But it does at least show my face, and it shows when I'm talking. Today we're starting up Xenoblade Chronicles X. Or, I've heard it's pronounced Cross. I'm familiar with video games in general, but not this one. Oh, straight to a title screen. Okay. Xenoblade Chronicles Cross Definitive Edition, version 1.0.2. Ah, okay. Who would continue? Oh, it's blanked out. Okay. New game. That looks cool. Nintendo, makers of the game. Well, not quite, but close enough. The publisher, really. Huh. Monolith Soft. There's the actual makers of the game. Xenoblade Chronicles Cross Definitive Edition. That captioning. What's that? Oh, that doesn't look good. Sci-fi title, got it.
It's July 2054 AD.
That's not too far.
The Earth was caught in a great battle between unknown alien forces. Their weapons were terrifying and powerful beyond human reckoning.
Oh, so neither of these are from...
Our planet was overwhelmed. Its surface reduced to ash and rubble in the blink of an eye.
They just happened to meet here.
The coalition government knew the war was coming. In response, they prepared the Earth-Life Colonization Project, Project Exodus. Interstellar arcs were launched all across the planet, from every major city on Earth. Bravely, we leapt from our cradle, our home for the last 4.5 billion years. But most of the arcs never even made it out of the atmosphere. Only a small handful managed to escape.
Ouch.
Among them was our ship, the White Whale.
I guess it's a sci-fi title. They can give whatever age they want.
After leaving Earth behind, we spent 2 years wandering in space, searching. We thought of ourselves as the lucky ones. The pioneers who would settle a new world. But our past caught up with us. Literally.
Why would they chase them down? They weren't even part of the battle.
The air was unrelenting. If not for the efforts of a lone hero, we would never have survived. Our ship took heavy damage. We lost control. With our flight systems down, the white whale was pulled into the gravitational field of a nearby planet, its hull shattering and breaking to pieces as we plummeted toward the surface.
Okay. And that was just
Since
the intro.
Then, 2 months have passed.
Male or female? I'm male. I'm making an avatar. What? Human only? Fine. I wonder who Elma is.
Attention, external access confirmed. Disengaging stasis in 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing hatch. Please stand clear.
Hey there. Looks like you're all in one piece.
Eyes look weird, but I guess it's blurry. Okay, much better now.
Careful. Just take it nice and slow,
It's not an
okay?
earpiece.
Your senses will need time to reactivate.
That's strange phrasing.
Your pod is the only one around that landed intact.
Lucky me.
Good thing I found you. My name's Elma. You want to tell me yours? You don't even remember your own name? It must be the stasis hangover.
I'm sure I'll get a name eventually.
Just try and focus, all right?
Oh, there we go.
Good, there we go. What else you remember?
I'm supposed to be a lizardkin.
It'll come. In the meantime, I'll get you up to speed here as best I can. How are your limbs? Can you move?
Nod or shake your head. Okay.
We'll take it easy while you shake the stasis out of your system. One step at a time, all right? First things first, you'll be needing a weapon. There you go. All right, let's get going.
Good thing she carries spares. Although that's a different style than what she's got. Must require less training. Prologue, Awakening. Follow the exclamation point. Elma's advice. If you're ever stumped about where to go next, be sure to check any nearby places marked with an exclamation mark. Doing so should reveal the way forward, though an occasional excursion off the beaten path never hurts. You know what they say about all work and no play, after all. Okay. Region Primordia, Haitian Starful Basin. I just kind of where it says here. Well, I mean, yeah, it doesn't really look like a name right. That is only just a very large number of me. I was only at 75% on my scale. I guess that's one of the non-intact pods.
Most of the white whale's life pods didn't survive the crash, like this one. You're one of the lucky few. Right. You don't even remember the white whale, do you? You know,
Just
the
act
L002,
like I've never heard of any
the
of
ship
this
we
stuff
escaped
before.
Earth on? You remember Earth, right? Planet Earth. Your homeworld. Or rather, it used to be anyway.
Used to?
Unfortunately, it was caught in a battle between two alien forces.
Wait, we just watched the prologue. Why are you doing this
and
again?
destroyed. Ring any bells? Don't feel bad. It's one memory I'd like to forget.
That's a big bug.
I know. It's been following me for a while now. I didn't want to alarm you, but we're going to need to defend ourselves.
Battle tutorial.
You up to the task?
Target and draw. Elma's advice. Initiate combat by targeting an enemy, then drawing your weapon. Now, what do you say we give it a whirl? I'll be here to back you up, so feel free to experiment. Target with R, draw weapon, A while targeting. Auto-attacking. After you've drawn your weapon with A, you'll automatically attack your opponent with a certain frequency, but only as long as you keep the enemy within your weapon's attack range. Arts. Arts are special abilities your weapons give you access to. Select them with left and right on the D-pad, then press A to use one. You can set a maximum of 8 to your arts palette. After you use an art, it will be put on cooldown, taking time until you can use it again. different arts have cooldowns of different length.
Open fire! Follow me! Flame grenade! Assault hammer! They didn't see that coming. Gun him down!
Okay.
You're not half bad. There's plenty of work back in the city for someone who knows how to handle a weapon, you know.
Excuse me while I activate another encounter. So interested in finding work. I'll nod, I guess.
Then you're interested. In that case, I might have just the job for you. But anyway, we can talk more details later. For now, let's keep moving.
Here we go.
The rain's starting to let up, just in time for sunrise. Follow me. I promise you're gonna love this.
I'll say the music in this game is pretty good. At least so far, anyway. That fog clears out in a hurry. That's a big thing.
Pretty wild, huh? They're all indigenous, as far as we can tell. We need to learn to play nice with these guys if we're going to try and coexist together. We call this planet Mira. You won't find it on any star chart. But it's our new home. Recognize the habitat unit? That's where we're headed.
It has a
Watch
flag
yourself.
on it that I recognize.
That first step's a doozy. We can jump if you like. You could handle the fall. But the indigents down there are another story. Some big, some mean, all nasty. Given our options, the high road here would be the safer way to go, relatively speaking.
I like the no fall damage, but at least they warned me before I tried it.
That said, whichever way you want to go, I'll follow your lead. You decide.
Similarly, penultimate means second to last.
Looks a lot bigger up close, doesn't it?
It's quite big, right?
And this was just the habitat unit. The white whale was one hell of a ship.
Oh, curse words.
Until it all came crashing down, at least. That's the west gate. It's closed off now for security reasons. But we've repurposed a freight elevator that will get us inside.
Like we have wolves. That's a bit bigger than the Hound implied.
Grexes. And they're riled.
Oh, hello.
We can't leave them roaming here, not this close to the gate. We're gonna have to take them down. You ready?
Melee and ranged weapons. Weapons you use on foot are split between melee and ranged weapons. You can switch between them with X. Melee weapons can only attack at close range, tend to do more damage per hit. Ranged weapons can attack at range, tend to hit multiple times, but damage per hit tends to be lower. When you use an art, you'll automatically switch over to the weapon that the art is associated with. Your melee weapon for melee weapon arts, and your ranged weapon for ranged weapon arts. Arts and secondary cooldown. Arts which are associated with the weapon you're currently wielding, melee or ranged, will continue their cooldown even after they're ready to use. This is called secondary cooldown. Arts used at full secondary cooldown will have a greatly increased effect. Ah, that's what that is.
Did they see us?
Slide! That put a dent in them. Move in and keep them going.
Take this!
Shadow strike!
Assault hammer! Left! Wanna get up! Flame grenade! Infuriate!
Early bird! That put a dent in them. Move in and keep the rhythm
Take
going.
this! Now, close in and clean up! Chrome armor!
Sliding splinter!
Infuriate!
That put a dent in them. Move in and keep the rhythm going.
Alright! You feel like a new man!
Got a lot. That's nice.
Split!
Shadow strike!
Now, close in and clean up!
Now, my turn! It's a shame we had to settle
Yeah, I
near
took
so
the
much
heroic
wildlife.
voice.
Luckily, some species aren't so hostile, but they aren't necessarily friendly either. I've come to learn that there's a fine line between self-defense and provoking a fight. We need to walk that line. All right, let's head in. Who knows? Maybe seeing the inside will jog your memory.
Probably not, but let's give it a shot anyway.
Well, here we are. Not too shabby, huh? For a giant beached spaceship, anyway. But, like it or not, this place is our home now.
This is really awesome music.
We took the name from the city it was modeled after back on Earth.
Huh.
We call it New Los Angeles. Welcome to NLA.
Really sparse city.
And so it was that another survivor came to join our band of refugees.
Who is this narrator?
Together, we resolved to forge a new way of life here on Mira, Kalliope. New LA was our beautiful lie to ourselves. Truth is, we were adrift, heading into the unknown. Our native home was gone, swallowed in a shroud of light. And our future was uncertain. We had no idea what fate lay in store for us.
What's the 60%?
Only that we had to keep living in order to see it.
Yeah, our hero is going to be pretty overwhelmed, considering these are huge areas. Splash screen. Save your progress. The save screen will open. Okay. We're in the industrial district.
How about
I
a
see.
quick tour of the facilities to refresh your memory? Let's start with your living quarters. Follow me.
Got it.
Brave citizens of New Los Angeles.
Because it's the closest I can get to
This is
read
your Director
scales.
General, Maurice Chausson. Today, I once again come to you
Sounds
with
French.
news I am truly delighted to share. Yesterday, we repatriated 10 more White Whale crew members.
I wonder
These
what my
fellow
job is
pioneers
supposed to
will
be.
rejoin our ranks as citizens of NLA, bringing with them skills and know-how that will bolster our ability to survive and indeed flourish here in our new home. This, of course, is only the latest success in our continuing efforts.
Director
As part
General?
of my
Since when?
initiative for the
I guess she's been
rescue
around-
and recovery
away
of
for a
2 days
bit.
ago, ma'am.
brothers and sisters. I stand here truly humbled and
From
grateful.
political aide to director general in just a few weeks. At this rate, he'll be emperor by next month.
I guess they don't really like him.
Irina? Gwyn?
Nice work out there, ma'am.
Ask who these two people are. Show interest or look puzzled. Thanks for the choice.
Right. Introductions. Irina Akulov, Gwyn Evans.
This one of the survivors, Colonel?
The survivor. I only found a single pod intact at Starfall Basin.
Wait, what? What happened to 10 more crew members?
Come on, seriously? Chausson was never one to let the truth get in the way of a good speech. Still, every last survivor counts. You can call me Irina. I'm with the Interceptors.
Me too. Same division. You can call me Mr. Evans. Or just
He
Gwyn.
sounds nothing like what I've heard from him.
The three of us were in the Coalition forces together. Specifically, the Special Operations Heavy Armor Training Unit, aka the Skeleton Crew. I was a colonel and Irina a lieutenant. Gwyn was a more recent recruit. Of course, I keep telling them we don't need those old ranks anymore now that we're here.
You're still colonel to me, ma'am. No reorg will ever change that. And that's not about chain of command either. It's about respect. You've earned it.
And the award for best ass kiss goes to...
Well, I'd remind you both the ma'ams aren't necessary if I thought you'd listen.
All right, ma'am. We should be getting back to work. Until next time, Colonel.
And they just completely ignored her.
Right.
Okay.
We should be going too. The administrative district isn't far. That's where you'll be calling home. For now, anyway.
I'm an administrator? Or working under them, I guess. Hello, I'm Dragon Rider Luke. I'm a Christian streamer, and I'm always up for a friendly chat about my faith. I also think that it's important that people read or hear the Word of God frequently, so the next 5 minutes or so will be a chapter from the Bible. Joshua 8. Then the Lord said to Joshua, "Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. Take the whole army with you, and go up and attack Ai, for I have delivered into your hands the king of Ai, his people, his city, and his land. You shall do to Ai and its king as you did to Jericho and its king, except that you may carry off their plunder and livestock for yourselves. Set an ambush behind the city." So Joshua and the whole army moved out to attack Ai. He chose 30,000 of his best fighting men and sent them out at night with these orders. Listen carefully. You are to set an ambush behind the city. Don't go very far from it. All of you be on the alert. I and all those with me will advance on the city, and when the men come out against us, as they did before, we will flee from them. They will pursue us until we have lured them away from the city, for they will say, they are running away from us as they did before. So when we flee from them, you are to rise up from ambush and take the city. The Lord your God will give it into your hand. When you have taken the city, set it on fire. Do what the Lord has commanded. See to it. You have my orders. Then Joshua sent them off, and they went to the place of ambush and lay in wait between Bethel and Ai, to the west of Ai. But Joshua spent that night with the people. Early the next morning, Joshua mustered his army, and he and the leaders of Israel marched before them to Ai. The entire force that was with him marched up and approached the city and arrived in front of it. They set up camp north of Ai, with the valley between them and the city. Joshua had taken about 5,000 men and set them in ambush between Bethel and Ai to the west of the city. So the soldiers took up their positions, with the main camp to the north of the city and the ambush to the west of it. That night Joshua went into the valley. When the king of Ai saw this, he and all the men of the city hurried out early in the morning to meet Israel in battle at a certain place overlooking the Arabah. He did not know that an ambush had been set against him behind the city. Joshua and all Israel let themselves be driven back before them, and they fled toward the wilderness. All the men of Ai were called to pursue them, and they pursued Joshua and were lured away from the city. Not a man remained in Ai or Bethel who did not go after Israel. They left the city open and went in pursuit of Israel. Then the Lord said to Joshua, "Hold out toward Ai the javelin that is in your hand, for into your hand I will deliver the city." So Joshua held out toward the city the javelin that was in his hand. As soon as he did this, the men in ambush rose quickly from their position and rushed forward. They entered the city and captured it and quickly set it on fire. The men of Ai looked back and saw the smoke of the city rising up into the sky. But they had no chance to escape in any direction. The Israelites who had been fleeing toward the wilderness had turned back against their pursuers. For when Joshua and all Israel saw that the ambush had taken the city and that smoke was going up from it, they turned around and attacked the men of Ai. Those in the ambush also came out of the city against them, so that they were caught in the middle, with Israelites on both sides. Israel cut them down, leaving neither survivors nor fugitives. But they took the king of Ai alive and brought him to Joshua. When Israel had finished killing all the men of Ai in the fields and in the wilderness where they had chased them, when every one of them had been put to the sword, all the Israelites returned to Ai and killed those who were in it. 12,000 men and women fell that day, all the people of Ai, for Joshua did not draw back the hand that held out his javelin until he had destroyed all who lived in Ai. But Israel did carry off for themselves the livestock and plunder of this city, as the Lord had instructed Joshua. So Joshua burned Ai and made it a permanent heap of ruins, a desolate place to this day. He impaled the body of the king of Ai on a pole and left it there until evening. At sunset, Joshua ordered them to take the body from the pole and throw it down at the entrance of the city gate, and they raised a large pile of rocks over it, which remains to this day. Then Joshua built on Mount Ebal an altar to the Lord, the God of Israel, as Moses the servant of the Lord had commanded the Israelites. He built it according to what is written in the book of the law of Moses, an altar of uncut stones, on which no iron tool had been used. On it they offered to the Lord burnt offerings and sacrificed fellowship offerings. There, in the presence of the Israelites, Joshua wrote on stones a copy of the law of Moses. All the Israelites, with their elders, officials, and judges, were standing on both sides of the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord, facing the Levitical priests who carried it. Both the foreigners living among them and the native-born were there. Half of the people stood in front of Mount Gerizim, and half of them in front of Mount Ebal, as Moses the servant of the Lord had formerly commanded when he gave instructions to bless the people of Israel. Afterward, Joshua read all the words of the law, the blessings and the curses, just as it is written in the book of the law. There was not a word of all that Moses had commanded that Joshua did not read to the whole assembly of Israel, including the women and children and the foreigners who lived among them. May God bless the reading of his word. Chapter 1! Hey, we finished a chapter. New Los Angeles. Got the Central Industrial District. I only keep track of people well when I'm writing about them. Well, it's certainly damaged, whatever it is. Don't hit anything important, buddy. You're going awfully fast. And you look heavy. Definitely heavy. Please don't hit people. You're going fast, too. Recklessly fast.
Damn it!
It looks like she knows what she's doing.
Look, I know what exhaust smells like, and it was exhaust in the cockpit. Just check the ductwork, would ya?
Oh, I'm checking. I just seriously doubt... Hey, look at that! The intake exhaust bypass is reversed. Oh man, it's a good thing I caught that.
You didn't
caught
catch
that.
anything.
You're the one who cleared me to fly.
Everything okay? It's not like you to flub a flight check, Lynn. Good thing you had a rugged pilot like Doug at the controls.
Oh, hey Elma. How'd it go out there? And would this be one of the you-know-whos? Cool. I'm Lynn Lee Koo, mechanic and top all-around fix-it gal for Blade.
Okay. Find out how old Lynn is. or find out what happened with the exhaust. I'm more interested in this one.
She's 13, and I know, she looks young, and she is young, but trust me, she's one of our top talents.
Most of the time, that is. Most of the time.
Anyway, you guys heading back to the barracks?
Yeah. Why do you ask?
As long as you're here, why don't I take you on the transport? It's a great way to see the city. I'll give you the grand tour.
As long as you drive slower.
That sounds like a great idea.
All right, Doug, I think that'll be all for today. You can clean up here and dock the Ciel.
What?
Don't mind the exhaust. I'll take care of it tomorrow.
Don't mind it? Wait, why am I cleaning up your mess in the first place? Lynn! Lynn!
He is pretty irresponsible. Sure, that's not magic powered.
Not bad, huh? You can see everything from up here.
It beats walking, that's for sure.
The best way to see NLA. I never get tired of this view.
How can you
It's like
see
a different
anything
city every
through
time.
that? It looks like it's solid
It's certainly
steel.
come a long way in the last few weeks. There's still so much to be done.
One day at a time.
I don't even see hardly any windows on that thing.
Speaking of which, we don't really have time for a full pleasure cruise here. Why don't you give us the express tour, Lynn? Just the highlights.
Okay, you got it. New LA is divided into 4 districts. We departed from the industrial district, where Doug and I were conducting the flight test. It has food production, skill development, industries and stuff.
It's also where the West Gate is located, remember? Expect to pass through there fairly often. The only other gate out of the city is in the administrative district, but I'm skipping ahead.
Next is the commercial district. Restaurants, galleries, cafes, clothing, groceries, you
That
name
looks
it.
more like a city.
It's a veritable shopping paradise.
The CD is the closest thing to a downtown we've got. It can actually get pretty crowded sometimes.
Well, by NLA standards anyway. Day or night, the best and only bargains on the planet. To your
This
right, the
must not
residential
be
district.
exactly a happy
Housing,
planet.
housing, and more housing. Well, plus a nice park and the cathedral.
If you're ever looking for quiet time alone, or want to relax and unwind with a good book, that's the spot.
Right? The park is my favorite place to just zone out and chill. And last but not least, our destination, the administrative district, the nerve center at the heart of NLA. Note the distinct dual-level structure here. The upper level holds our administrative tower, home to Blade HQ and the government. Not to mention Armory Alley, as well as the barracks where we live. The lower level there is a hangar complex for Ciel maintenance and repairs. And this concludes our tour. We will be landing shortly.
Thanks, Lynn.
The
We'll
best
save the
flight
rest of
attendant.
orientation for once we're back at the barracks.
still have no idea how anyone can see out of that thing. Maybe they have scrying magic on the walls.
Enjoy your stay in the administrative district, and thank you for flying Linley Airlines.
You weren't piloting.
Right. Let's get you over to the barracks. Then I should file my report. They'll be eager to hear the details on how I found you, I'm sure.
Well then, we better not keep them waiting. The barracks are pretty close, actually. They're set up just behind the giant blade tower here. That road there wraps around the left side and leads right to it.
We'll pass through Armory Alley, but let's not get sidetracked, okay? We can check it out later.
Okay.
And here we are, the Blade Barracks. Consider yourself our guest until we finish getting you registered. Feel free to come and go as you please.
What's registration?
I think I can answer that one. So, you must be the latest rescue.
Yes.
Secretary Nagi!
Ms. Koo. Chipper as always, I see.
What can I say? Pep is my middle name.
I thought it was Lee.
I ran into Doug Barrett on the way here, and he didn't seem quite so upbeat. Anything about today's flight I should know?
Whoopsie.
No, nothing to worry about.
Good. Be sure it stays that way. More importantly, Elma, you found another one. Excellent work out there.
Just doing my job, Mr. Secretary.
Now, as for officially registering our new citizen here...
Why don't we talk inside? There's a lot of ground to cover. It could take some time.
Ah, yes, of course. Forgive me. You must be weary from the stasis and your journey back to us. Please, after you.
This
I'll
is
put on
the
some
start
tea.
of the game after all. I expect a lot of info being dumped on us. Do I get to actually hear any of it?
Allow me to formally introduce myself. My name is Kentaro Nagi. You may remember me as Captain of the White Whale, but now I serve as Secretary of Defense here for New LA. The provisional government has charged me with keeping the peace, so all military and police matters fall under my jurisdiction.
He's also my superior officer. And he'd be an excellent person to talk to when you're ready to start looking for work.
What about a job right here with Blade? He seems capable.
Let's give it a little more time. At least until he knows enough to be able to make an informed decision. He seems to be suffering from some form of memory loss.
Memory loss? From the stasis?
He could barely remember his name, and nothing at all about what happened to Earth or the White Whale.
I see. Though, come to think of it, the entire lot of us have only been on this planet for what, 2 months? It shouldn't take very long to get caught up.
My thoughts exactly.
Well then, where should we begin?
Registration, more information about Blade, or how we ended up on Mira. We kind of already know the first one. I'm gonna go with this one.
Blade is an acronym. Builders of a legacy after the destruction of Earth. Quite fitting, I think.
Ouch.
It's a relatively new organization. Up there in space, we had plenty of provisions, and a crew trained to handle the limited amount of situations we might encounter in our travels. But of course, all that changed after we lost most of our ship and came crashing down here on Mira.
Where did the rest
We
of the
needed
ship
food,
go?
water, search and rescue teams, surveyors, police. The list goes on and on. It was too much for the provisional government to manage on its own, so Blade was born. The idea was to have one central organization with different disciplines to fill these various roles. Its core was pulled from the Coalition military, so it's mostly former soldiers. But fighting isn't our most important duty. Right now, we have a single top priority that supersedes all others. The search for and recovery of the Lifehold.
Take a look at this.
Big.
The White Whale was designed to carry an exceedingly large number of passengers, all of them held in stasis. All housed in a structure called the Lifehold. This is a complete schematic of that facility. Only essential personnel were conscious and active for the journey from Earth. The flight crew, maintenance engineers. And of course, some military so we could defend ourselves if necessary. But the vast majority were in the Lifehold. Are in the Lifehold. With any luck, they're all still there, in stasis, waiting to be rescued. But there's a problem. We now know the Lifehold broke apart along with the rest of the ship when we came down on Mira. What we don't know is exactly where all the pieces landed. Not very comforting, I know. Blade's top priority now is locating the missing units.
Okay. Oh, I have to actually do all 3 of these. Guess I'll go with this one first.
It started at the end, 2 years ago. The end of Earth. The casualty of a battle between two hyper-advanced alien civilizations.
It's the third time we've seen this now.
Their technology and weapons
Inside
were
of 2 hours.
beyond our comprehension. We were like infants, naked, powerless. The Earth was reduced to ash and blown away.
I still wonder if I hadn't been there. If maybe all of this could have somehow been avoided.
No one can know that, Elma. What we do know is without you, there'd have been no Project Exodus, and no escape for any of us. Did it go perfectly? No. But we are here, and we are alive. We survived. So yes, Project Exodus. Once we learned the Earth might be threatened, we needed a plan to preserve all her various life forms. That plan was the Earth Life Colonization Project, otherwise known as Project Exodus.
Why is Elma so important?
Those of us who escaped on the White Whale spent over 2 years wandering in space. 2 hard years. But we clung to our mission, find a habitable planet, and settle there. We had no idea how long it would take. Or that the decision would eventually be made for us.
The xenoforms found us again, and, well, it wasn't a happy reunion. Earth wasn't enough. They wanted humanity destroyed. For better and for worse, we were close to planet Mira when we lost control of the White Whale. Inertia and gravity took it from there.
The ship had taken way too much damage to survive entering the atmosphere intact. We had no choice. We channeled all the power we had left to soft land the habitat. Once the dust cleared, we set to work transforming it into its current state. Searching for survivors, establishing Blade, installing the provisional government. Basically, making it a sustainable city.
Alright, what's registration?
Ah, yes. All citizens of NLA are required to register their name, age, and occupation. We also ask you report any personal assets and take a short survey regarding your current state of health. All purely as a precaution. I'm sure you understand. As the caretakers of humanity's survival, we all have certain responsibilities.
And hey, it's not all bad. Registering gets you access to all kinds of public services.
In any case, I'm sure this is all a lot to digest. You'll be wanting some time. Ms. Koo, even I'm tired of hearing myself speak. Why don't you take our guest out for some air? Perhaps a tour of the administrative district.
Yes, sir. Come on, we'll keep this briefing brief.
Story mission. Chapter 1. From Nagi. Take a guided tour of the Blade Administrative District with Len and Elma and learn more about life as a member of Blade. I get 20 experience and 5,000 cash. That's pretty good for taking a guided tour. Sure, why not?
You know, it's not every day we're authorized to let a civilian tour the administrative district.
Yeah, Nagi must really, really want him to join Blade.
Well, we did destroy
The
the
AD is
stuff
a
on
bit
the way
different
here.
from the other districts. It's got everything a blade would need, all in one place, without any extra fluff.
Get a load of that skill. Even the way that they walk is so cool. Oh yeah, work it, baby.
It looks heavy. Gaze longingly at the scowl. What is it?
What? You don't remember what a skell is? That gorgeous exoskeleton that just went by? Basically like the most incredible, awesomest super weapons ever? Lasers, force fields, bipedal and vehicular transformations. Sorry, I get so excited whenever I think about it.
Sounds complicated.
Originally, scales were developed as a defensive measure to counter potential alien threats. It wasn't enough to save Earth, though. We were outnumbered and outgunned. Still, just look around you. New LA has gone from basically nothing to this in just 2 short months. We could never have come so far so fast without Skell technology. I'd love to get you into one to see for yourself, but it's not that simple.
Well, yeah, duh. For one thing, only blades are allowed to pilot skells. And even then, you need a license.
These
Guess you're
aren't
too young
toys
for
we're
one.
talking about. They're complex machines with powerful weapons. And they're a precious resource. We only have so many of them to go around. So yes, as you might imagine, the certification process is a fairly rigorous one.
I'm sure we'll
I'm
do
sure
it
you're
eventually.
thinking, where do I sign up for the test? But it's not that simple. They choose you, not the other way around. You can't just walk in the front door and volunteer.
There is some criteria. The details are
protagonist.
largely hidden, but basically, HQ only allows the cream of the crop to take the test. Blades who go above and beyond in their duties, and for the people of New LA in general.
So what do you say? If you become a blade and work hard, I'm sure it'll only be a matter of time before they tap you on the shoulder.
Pushing this a little hard, Lynn.
Speaking of work, that reminds me. Why don't we check out the mission control board first? That's where we take on our assignments.
Good call. Let's head on over.
You're acting like an already party blade. If you have a skill license, you can buy a skill from the shop terminal in Armory Alley. Man, I love living in the future.
So this is mission control. We don't have a dispatch system yet, so blades usually choose their own assignments. Everyone comes here and selects from the missions available on the board.
And it's not just official blade tasks. Anyone with a request is free to post here. Businesses, citizens, whoever.
Yeah, it's basically how anything gets done in New LA, so the board is constantly updating. Just about every blade will stop by here at some point in their shift.
It's like our second home. You'll always find a number of blades around here, blowing off steam or browsing mission control for their next assignment.
Whenever I get freed up, I'll stop here first thing to check for any missions I might be suited for.
It's the side quest board.
Likewise. And if the assignment seems too tough to handle solo, that's what the scout console is for. We should show you that next.
Hey, who's giving this tour anyway? We also have the scout console, if the assignment seems too tough to handle solo. And Elma just said that, didn't she? Ta-da! The Blade Scout Console. When the going gets tough, the tough go to the Scout Console. You know, to get tougher.
if you do end up joining us, you'll
That's
quickly
not the
realize
phrase.
just how important this little kiosk is. A lot of the mission control assignments are too much for any one blade to handle. They tend to call for multiple members with specialized knowledge or unique skills. This console lets you search for and recruit other blades to fill those roles for just such an occasion.
You can't spell blade without team. Sorta. Anyway, awesome, right? So, you're ready to join up?
Hang on, Lynn. Take it easy, would you?
What? I'm just saying you'd have to be some kind of an idiot not to want to join Blade. Or maybe a crazy person.
Oh, and here I thought you might be pressuring our guest.
Apology accepted. Now, how about a little shopping? And I'm not talking about the stuff over in the commercial district. I'm talking about Armory Alley.
One can tell where the plot of this game goes. Alright, people, remember that each of us bears the weight of humanity's very existence upon our shoulders.
So this street's what we call Armory Alley.
Blades can requisition equipment from any of the vendors here.
I won't lie, most Blade members face danger on a daily basis. Having the latest gear isn't about impressing your friends. It's a matter of survival.
True enough. And that goes not only for your personal armor and weapons, what we call ground gear, but for skell equipment as well.
You can even buy whole skells. Can you imagine owning your own skell?
Yeah, but you need a license first, don't you?
Huh? Oh, right, the tour. I think all that's left is the heart of Blade itself. Blade Tower.
Hey!
Come on, right.
Really?
Suspension on the skill's completely wrecked. You must have put up a good fight against the Xenos when we made emergency landing.
So yeah, Blade Tower. When we come here, it's usually to stop by Blade HQ. The higher-ups, like Secretary Nagy and Commander Vandam, will spend most of their day here. The government leaders, too. They're based in the tower. Guys like our new Director General Maurice Chausson, for example.
Blades sometimes report to the leadership here after we finish key assignments. You'll want to remember this place.
And that about does it for our tour. So, what do you think? Pretty amazing setup, right? You can't wait to join Blade, right?
Okay, Lynn, seriously, that's enough. We're not here to make a sales pitch. We just
Though
want
it
you to
sounds
have
like
all
she
the
is.
facts so you can make an informed decision to join us, or not. Now that you've seen where and how we work, hopefully it made a good impression, but your decision will be just that, your decision.
I'm gonna save
In any
first.
case, let's head back to the barracks. Secretary Nagy will be waiting.
Story mission complete.
Honey, we're home.
Yes, very amusing.
Who wants a fresh cup of tea?
Thank you, Ms. Gu, but I can't stay long. I just wanted to pass along a request from your commanding officer.
Commander Vandam? Does it have anything to do with our new arrival?
Correct. He stopped by while you were out on your tour. He said he'll come back, but that I shouldn't wait to ask you.
Here we go. I bet I can guess.
You probably can. He wants to fast-track our new friend here for blade duty with a training assignment.
What in the hell are we waiting for?
As he put it.
The commander does have a way with words.
Makes even my pitch sound smooth.
I explained about the memory issues, but he didn't see it as a problem. And to be honest, given our current need for blade recruits, I can't say I entirely disagree.
Sure doesn't seem to
Hey, it's not
impact
me
my
you need to
fighting
convince.
prowess.
Blade service is voluntary, remember?
Of course, and I would never force or coerce anyone. Well, friend, what do you say? Can we count on you to do your part?
So what happens if I say no? Shrug your shoulders and shake your head.
Ms. Koo, how much do you know about life pods?
Life pods? You mean like from the white whale?
Yes, those life pods. Like the one Elma, a blade, rescued our friend here from. Emphasis on the word rescued. Because if you aren't released, you just sit there frozen in stasis. Forever.
So did you have an engineering question about life pods? Or is this all part of the guilt trip?
I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about. Now, what'll it be, friend?
Okay, but what if I refuse again?
Now, you wouldn't want to refuse the people who saved your life, would you, friend?
I'm trying to see if there's a text-based game over in this game.
You said no, you wouldn't refuse. That's a yes, right? You said no, you wouldn't refuse. That's a yes, right? You said no, you wouldn't refuse.
I guess there's only so
That's
much
a
that they
yes,
could go
right?
with. But I was expecting a text-based game over here, okay? Can you at least give me that much?
I knew you'd make the right choice. Welcome to the organization. Elma, he can start on your
I think
team.
3 times
You'll
is
begin
enough.
training immediately.
Yes, Mr. Secretary. With pleasure.
All right! Welcome to the Cool Kids Club!
You forced me to make the right choice. Yes, indeed, he did.
Now then, let's discuss that training assignment. We've decided to start you out on a probe installation, just to get your feet wet.
I guess we should back up a bit. Here in New LA, we're using a specialized computer system called Frontier Nav to help us deploy a sensor grid across Mira. A network of data probes that allows us to monitor conditions and collect all kinds of information about the planet.
Expanding that grid and filling in the blind spots is one of Blade's highest priorities. Here, take a look at this. What you're seeing on screen is a terrain map that includes New LA and the surrounding landmass. As you can see, we've divided the area into a series of hexagonal blocks. We call these blocks segments, and together they form our grid. We determined this was the most efficient pattern, given the limited range of our probes. Based on it, we know exactly where we need the probes to go. Now we just have to install them.
The sooner the better, as far as I'm concerned. The Frontier Nav probes can also detect the general locations of living things in the vicinity, which comes in handy if we need to track down a blade or another citizen.
Yes, quite handy indeed. So for this first exercise, you'll be heading here, to that white segment. Go there, install the data probe, and then come back home.
Got it. East of the city.
In that case, we can take the east gate out of the administrative district, right? We should be there in no time.
I'll leave the details on the data probe installation procedure to you, Elma.
Of course, Mr. Secretary. All right, you two, shall we?
Yeah! Training or not, let's go install the hell out of that probe!
Can you cool it with the cursing? You're We're only 13! Chapter 2. Well, that was fast. Install the data probe at the Frontier Nav site and complete your training. Okay. Recommended level 4. A little higher than that. Chapter 2. The New Frontier. Finding data probes is one of Blade's most fundamental duties. Well, that's a lesson that's perhaps best taught in the field. I'd like you to accompany Allemande to see exactly what I mean. This will be your first Blade mission, and I expect to be compensated if it's completed to your satisfaction. Show us what you can do.
Man, am I glad we pulled an assignment to the east of the city this time. It'd be a long walk all the way back over to the west gate.
Hold on. Are we even sure the East Gate will be open? Last I heard, it was still on lockdown from all the high-level indigent activity.
It was, but they just lowered the threat level earlier today. The gates are officially open for business.
That's nice.
One of our teams must have gone out there and kicked some furry indigent butt, huh?
Maybe it was... I know it wasn't us, because we were on the west. So, I guess it was Arena and Gwen.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. Irina's team is one of our best.
How does he know Arena and Gwen?
They met us at the gate?
We ran into them just before we met up with you. They were on their way out to an assignment.
Well, then that settles it. It must have been them, right? Man, forget this amateur hour probe baloney. Those guys are where the action's at.
I'll try not to take that personally. But enough talk. We've got our mission to deal with. Let's head out.
Roger. That probe isn't gonna install itself. Let's get to the East Gate, shall we?
Why are they all here?
What the hell happened here?
Oh, hello.
You don't think that one Sinicula could have killed all these simius? Unless... what?
This is bad.
What's bad? I don't follow you.
That Sinicula. It's a tyrant.
Huh? But it looks just like any other Sinicula.
Think about it. Your typical simius is way higher up on the food chain than your typical Sinicula, right? Usually we'd find one simius standing over 3 or 4 Sinicula corpses. But here, the tables have been turned. And I don't see a single trace of any other indigents in the area. There's only one explanation. That Sinicula is a tyrant.
Let me check the Blade Report database. If there's a tyrant this close to the city, someone must have run across it. Bingo. There was a Sinicula tyrant sighted not too long ago. But it was a couple of segments further out.
It could have followed the blade that spotted it back towards New LA, or come here to feed, or who knows what.
That's crazy. I can't believe there's a tyrant right on our doorstep and HQ isn't doing a thing about it.
Well, don't forget why they sent us here in the first place. Frontier Nav's range is still limited.
Oh, right. They couldn't track it if there's no local probe. They must have lost it when it went off the grid.
What's a tyrant?
The Tyrant designation is given to creatures that pose a special threat in one way or another. That doesn't always mean raw strength. Some tyrants will actually register as low rank when we find them out in the field and engage them in combat.
But don't let that fool you. If a creature shows up as a tyrant, you can be sure it's got at least one nasty trait or ability to speak of. The system can't account for everything, though, so don't let your guard down, no matter what rank it assigns. Even some of Blade's very best teams have come back with serious injuries after running into a tyrant in the field. If they come back at all.
Suggest the three of you can handle it. Say you can't just leave it so close to New LA. I'll go with the second one.
As long as you understand the risks involved. Lynn?
Count me in. The same goes for everyone in New LA, but if we're gonna settle here on this planet, we're gonna have to get used to dealing with tyrants now and then. Besides, if I need to, I can always run away while it's busy chewing on one of you guys.
You're the one with the shield! Don't do
Fair
that!
Enough. But don't push it, okay? Either of you. If we can take it down, great, but if not, even just luring it away would be a moral victory. As long as we buy enough time to install the probe, we can use Frontier Nav to track it, or any other tyrant that comes this close to the city from now on. Just make sure you're ready before we attack. This'll be tougher than anything else we've faced.
Open the gear menu, got it.
To be like this.
Open fire! Follow me!
Cover fire.
Flame grenade!
Shadow strike!
Assault hammer! Slit it! Stagger!
Wow!
Sliding slinger! Side slash!
Stagger!
Upper hand!
Now! Close in and clean up!
My
Flame grenade! Chrome armor!
Shadow strike! Nice! Move in and do some damage!
Stagger!
Side slash!
Comes the pain!
Hang it down!
Yeah, we're on top of this now! Upper hand!
Assault hammer!
Appendage destroyed! Move in and strike!
Flame grenade!
Shadow strike!
Chrome armor!
Touch me up! Upper hand!
We are awesome!
Nice work, Lynn. You fought well.
That really wasn't
You did
hard.
too. Now let's get down to business and install that data probe. If we stay here for long, there's no telling what other playmates might show up. This beam of light indicates a Frontier Nav site. It marks the ideal spot to bury the probe.
Okay, the probe should be ready for insertion. I'll just boot it up.
Thanks, Lynn. The top half of the cylinder contains the probe itself. The bottom half is a laser. It dissolves the soil so the probe can burrow to the proper depth. We tried just planting them on the surface at first, but we kept running into problems with the local wildlife damaging the goods. Burying them is going to save us all a lot of time and headaches in the long run. We all set?
Yes, ma'am. Whenever you're ready.
Why don't you do the honors? You can launch it right from your comm device. Give it a try.
Suggest Lynn should take care of it. Okay, I'll do it.
Good. Now we just need to give it a minute to reach the target depth.
And installation complete. We are now online with a solid connection to Frontier Nav.
Excellent. See? At the end of the day, there's really not much to it. The hardest part was calculating the ideal probe locations. We need them spread out evenly to maximize data collection.
Yep, planting probes is easy. And the more we plant, the more likely we are to find missing crew. So anytime you see a probe site, there's no excuse not to plant that sucker.
That'll do it for your training. Let's head back to the barracks and report to Secretary Nagy.
Commander Vandam.
Well now, look what the cat dragged in.
Sorry we missed you last time. We could have come to meet you at HQ, you know.
Indeed. I suggested as much. Twice.
And we know how much I enjoy being told what to do. Anyway, I hear you tangled with a tyrant, way out of your league, on a training mission, no less. That was reckless, and goddamn magnificent.
Story mission complete! You successfully installed the data probe and completed your training. And I can save.
So, Commander, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit here today?
Well, I can't just ask Nagy to do everything for me. I'd be out of a job.
Hey, I delivered you the new recruit, didn't I?
Yeah, you won the bet. Don't worry about it, all right? I'll settle up with you later. You know I'm good for it.
The bet?
I'm sure I'm needed elsewhere. You'll all excuse me? Commander.
Well, that wasn't obvious at all.
Huh. Look at you two. I swear, you're like two children excited about a new toy.
Look who's talking. I don't recall ever seeing you file a request to personally train a rescue before.
Is that so odd?
It is before we'd even asked him to become a blade, little Miss Stick in the Rear.
Usually I ask when I don't get your slang expressions, but something tells me to just let that one go.
Enough about that. Where are your manners, anyway? I still haven't been introduced to our new recruit here.
Commander Vandam is Blade's top officer.
In a past life, I was chief engineer on the White Whale. Same idea, basically.
Like
someone has a problem, I fix it. You follow? Huh. Not much for conversation, are you?
I don't really get
so
the
you
option
still haven't
to
told
talk.
us why you're here. From the look of things, I'm guessing this isn't a social call.
You don't think?
No. So let's cut the crap and get down to business.
Ha! Sounds like you're learning my expressions just fine, Elma. Anyway, first we need Chatty Cathy here to choose a division and pull an assignment.
What are divisions?
Pretty much everyone in New LA works for Blade, in one of several different fields. Helping to explore Mira, or to maintain order in the city, or, well, you remember Nagi's speech, right? There are 8 different fields in all, and each one has its own branch within Blade. Officially, they're called divisions. Naturally, you'll want to choose one that best suits your personality and your talents.
Let's start with the Pathfinders. Pathfinder's #1 responsibility is planting data probes, like you did on your training mission. It may not be the sexiest job, but important? You bet your ass it's important. We've only been on Mira 2 months. We don't know jack about this place. The more probes we install, the faster we can get our bearings here and give ourselves a fighting chance.
We've already detailed how important it is we expand the Frontier Nav network ASAP. So, for the time being, I'll just remind you of the highlights. It helps us keep Blade safe. It helps us keep the city safe. And most important of all, it's the key to locating the missing parts of the Lifehold and recovering the rest of the human race.
Okay, next up, Interceptors. You met Akeloff and Evans, right? Irina and Gwen? This is their division. Interceptors have one main duty: protect New LA and everyone in it from the wildlife here on Mira. Right now, this is probably our busiest division. Interceptors ride shotgun for the research eggheads, they escort VIPs around, and they help any other idiots who get caught out there with their pants down.
Next are the Harriers. Remember Doug Barrett, the Skell pilot conducting the test flight with Lynn? He's part of the Harriers. If you think of the Interceptors as defense, Harriers would be New LA's offense.
They have really cool armor.
They specialize in preemptive strikes on clear and obvious threats. But only on clear and obvious threats. They're not meant to go out and just blast any indigene that moves.
That's what the Interceptors are for.
And you got your Reclaimers. These guys are in charge of finding the other pieces of the White Whale. Among other things, that is. Including anything of ours left behind after a battle. Skell debris, weapons, personal effects. It can get a bit morbid, frankly, but it's gotta be done. Until we're up and running here on Mira, and have this place completely figured out. Everything we brought from Earth needs to be treated like it's irreplaceable.
I get the feeling I'm going to end up doing all of their jobs.
Also, the search for the Lifehold. That's mostly on the Reclaimers.
Next, Curators. Curators are the first to scout ahead to unexplored territory, bringing back whatever samples they can get their hands on. Fruits, bugs, sticks and stones, you name it. It's not all picking berries, though. Being a curator also means being the first to encounter unknown indigens.
Next? All right, Prospectors. Prospectors do, well, prospecting. They poke around, looking for minerals, resources, and whatnot. Things we need for everyday life here. We packed all the essentials we could on the White Whale, but that won't last forever. We need to be able to replenish our water and fuel if we want to survive. And sooner or later, we're gonna have to figure out how to replace things from scratch. From the socket on a Skell's knee joint, right down to the frying pan in Lynn's kitchen. Without these guys busting their butts, we'd have no future to speak of.
Next up, outfitters. All of our ground gear and Skell weaponry is developed in conjunction with private arms manufacturers, or AMs. Outfitters are Blade's way of supporting these AMs. They'll seek out anything that might inspire new weapon ideas, and even assist with testing new prototypes.
Finally, the mediators. These are the folks who keep everything hunky-dory with John and Joan Q public. Any problems a civvy has, they come to mediators. Fight with your neighbor? Mediators. Lost cat? Mediators. It's not a division for everyone. You need to be a jack of all trades, and a people person. Someone with my charming personality? Probably not the best mediator. But if you got what it takes, it's a clutch role, keeping things cool on the home front.
Sounds like the side questers.
All right, so I think that's all 8 divisions. Any idea which one you'd like to join? Don't fret about it too much. Whichever you choose, you still have a lot of freedom in how you operate.
Like I said, I expect that I'm going to end up doing
can still get
all
out
of
there
them.
and mix it up, hunt indigents, whatever. And if a Harrier wants to take a break and settle an argument, that's their prerogative too. To be honest, even though it's sort of frowned upon, you can actually change your division whenever you like. So there's really no reason to stress about this. All right, you ready to choose?
I don't want them to go through all of that again. I'm ready to choose.
Yeah, and? We're on pins and needles here.
Alright, Pathfinders. The Pathfinder's main task is to place data probes that expand Blade's info network. I'm going to place all of them. Interceptors. The Interceptor's primary duty is to protect the people of New LA from indigent threats. I don't think that I'm going to fight everything I come across. Harriers. The Harriers are in charge of eliminating threats from Mira's most dangerous creatures, that is, tyrants. I don't know that I want to do that one either. Reclaimers. The Reclaimers' task is to locate and retrieve pieces of wreckage from the White Whale. I mean, I'm going to be doing that as much as I can, but... Curators. Curators are charged with scouting unexplored territories and collecting materials found there. Same thing as with Reclaimers. I'm not even really sure why they're different divisions. Prospectors. Prospectors mainly focus on using Frontier Nav to mine for minerals and resources. I have no idea how I actually do that. Outfitters. Outfitters help the arms manufacturers to develop new weapons and equipment. I mean, I'm going to end up doing that stuff anyway, but... Mediators. Mediators solve problems that arise between residents of New LA. I plan to do every single side quest. You will be assigned to the selected division. Are you sure? Yes.
Then it's settled?
It's settled.
All right. Thank God that's over. By the power invested in me, yada yada, you're officially a Blade.
Yay!
Congrats. And welcome.
I know you're gonna do great.
Now for the job. Let's get down to brass tacks. Nelson's team has gone missing. Last contact we had, they were installing a data probe out in eastern Primordia. Then, nothing.
Nelson. Pathfinders, right?
Are we talking indigents here or what?
Your guess is as good as mine, but they did have a skell with them. You'd think they could hold their own, or at least run away.
All right, we're on it. We'll head to their last known location and go from there.
Report whatever you find ASAP.
Of course. Let's move out.
Roger that.
Chapter 3. Client Vandom. Search for Nelson's missing team in Southeast Primordia. Chapter 3. Builders of a Legacy. Please, Monica, you've got to understand, as Blades, our first priority is coming home alive. And as the one responsible for this team, I have to take the path with the least amount of risk. You want to... So you want to give up his life to save ours? Pathetic! Look, if you don't want to go, that's fine. I'll find Connor alone. Monica, that's crazy! Will you please listen to me for a second? Huh? What is it? If you're out here, I'm guessing it's because you were played. In that case, let me ask you something. An entire team risked their lives to rescue one single member. Should the team run back to New LA like a pair of sniveling cowards and wait for reinforcements? Would I do safety first? Or would I, or if it's my team, I would search for the teammate immediately. You know what, within the context of the game, I would search for them immediately. See, you've got guts. What if our friend dies while we're sitting on our arses back in NLA? What then? And if the two of us go missing as well, how does that help Connor? This is difficult to ask, but would you head north to Sickle Rot Rise and see if you can find an interceptor named Connor? He's part of our team. We got separated on a survey job, and he hasn't come back. Welcome back, Connor. Nathan's teammate Connor has gone missing. Find him as soon as possible. Thank you. I know it should be me going instead, but... we got beaten to a pulp when our survey mission turned into an impromptu copper Sinicula hunt. Honestly, we're both at a loss here, as you can probably tell. I'm afraid if we go, we'll just invite more trouble. I'm sorry you had to see any of this, but I know that I really appreciate the help. We both do. As soon as we know Connor's location, we'll do our best to rescue him. Please help us find our friend.
Hey.
Oh, sweet baby back ribs, you're human! I guess my luck hasn't completely run out on me. Those monsters were chasing me everywhere. First I ran out of ammo, then I lost my comm device, then... well, I was pretty sure my time was up. Nathan sent me to find you. Well, you're still the one I owe. Heh. Though I can totally picture the two of them going at it. They're like an old married couple. Still, I suppose I should report back and let them know I'm okay. I hate to bother you, but could you help me look for my comm device? It should be nearby. I know we're both fellow Blades and all, but I'm still willing to pay you for your time. It's my goof up that put us here anyway. luck, once I've got that baby, I can reach the others no matter where they are. Connor's comm device. Connor's communication device dropped as he was on the run from vicious indigents. I understand. Hey, nice work. I'm impressed. Glad to see at least one of us here as a pro. And now I know who to turn to for help next time things take a turn for the worse. Alright, let me call up the others here. I managed to get in touch with my team, thanks to you. They're on my way here now. Here, this is my way of saying thanks. I really appreciate the help. Mission complete. You found Connor's comm device. It seems he's managed to get in touch with Nathan and the others. Hey?
Well?
Hey there, Luke. I managed to get in touch with my team thanks to you. They're on my way here now. So what are you doing back out here anyway? Bored or something? If so, I suppose I could give you that bounty assignment I flubbed. The mark's a bold Senicula that has been running around making life heck for everyone. Okay. Ah, somebody's chomping at the bit, huh? I bet you take that bad boy down without breaking a sweat. I'll forward the details to your comm device. Have at it whenever you like. Recommended level 8. I can do that. This car yours, buddy? Then it's your own fault. Blades ain't allowed to park here, see? Well, well, I heard rumors that there were ruffians going around about hounding Blades, and now here you are. This is my lucky day. Let me guess, you rocket scientists used to be Blades yourselves, right? But something set you off, so you left to form this gang. How pathetic. And here I was thinking you'd be something special, when you're just a common pack of thugs. It's almost disappointing. You got a big mouth, Pipsqueak. I bet it would look better if I knocked out a few teeth. Please, I've no interest in low-level chumps like you. I fear I'm something of a traditionalist, you see. They give me a great evil worthy of facing justice. Don't waste my time. Enough with the fancy talk. Put up your dukes before I end you! Oh, I wholly encourage you to try. But be warned, agents of swift justice always step forth after a chump drops a cheesy line like that. Sure, why not? See? 4 Blades! This was supposed to be an unfair fight. Why are you wussing out on us like this? Got lucky today, Blade. Might not be so lucky tomorrow if you get my drift. Come on, boys. Let's make like bananas and split. Phew. Thank you. I think you just saved my teeth. I heard talk about a gang that was causing mischief around here, so I decided to take a look. And believe you me, I didn't need to look for very long. But alas, those ruffians saw fit to wreck my ride. I'm at a bit of a loss as to what to do about that. We'll ask him. What's to tell? I hoped they were villains of vision and character, but they turned out to be common street thugs. Not to say this whole incident has been a waste, though. I met you, and you seem to be something of a major player. Oh, I almost forgot. My name is Justin, and I'm a Blade. It's good to meet you. And you're Luke, huh? Well, you've got yourself a new fan, Luke. Since you seem to be cut from the cloth of a hero, do you think you could find me some replacement parts for my poor car? With the right parts, I'll have it repaired in no time. I'll just stay here and think of some heroic questions for you while you're gone. Look forward to it. Justin's car, a hero's ride. Justin's car is wrecked. Gather the parts to repair it. 2 anhydrous radiators. Okay. Knew you'd accept. You're the type to always say yes, no matter how absurd the request may be. It's because you're an agent of justice. Such things are in your DNA. Nah. I'm normal. Even though I'm the protagonist. Classic hero response. Bold of action, yet humble of spirit. One such as yourself would never brag about your daring do. In any case, what I need is a pair of anhydrous radiators. Got it? Thanks a million, hero. Looks like I don't have it.
Yeah.
I love movies and comics about heroes such as yourself. I've dreamed of being one ever since I was a child. And here you are in the flesh. You actually came to my rescue. How unbelievable is that? So after you get those anhydrous radiators, could we maybe talk for a while? I want to know more about you. Perhaps hear tales of your mighty exploits and so forth. Sounds like he's after my job. Being a biographer.
Great!
Where is the list? Damn it. As soon as we landed on this planet, a bunch of military types went out to explore the area and have patrol cars. Less than half of them returned. Ow!
Now what?
What am I going to do? This can't be all the parts. Yes. Hello. Welcome. Have a seat right here. I mean, if you want to sit down. No espresso or lattes today, I'm afraid. We're, sold out. Yes, that's it. So sad. Alright, I'll have whatever you can offer. Oh, wow, you're being really nice about this. But no, I mean, you took the time to come here and whatnot, so you deserve to drink what you really want. Hey, are you good with machines by any chance? You certainly seem good with machines. Just, you know, aura-wise, so maybe? Admit you're probably better at breaking stuff. Really? Well, I'm sure you're still better at repairing stuff than me, right? I mean, you kinda have to be. I'm a complete basket case when it comes to mechanical stuff. Well, and most other stuff, actually. Anyway, the owner just got this new espresso machine, and it seems that I've somehow managed to break it. It should be okay once I get the right parts, but finding them has been a nightmare. I don't suppose you might know where I could find 3 heat-proof inox pipes, do you? Better latte than never. Find heat-proof inox pipes to fix the espresso machine that Joe broke. I have all 3. Oh gosh, I'm so glad I asked. As soon as that machine is up and running, I'll fix you the tastiest latte you've ever had. I mean it. My boss was asking why the espresso machine isn't around. I told her I'd called in sick, and then she just kind of looked at me funny and walked away. If this thing doesn't get fixed soon, I'm so dead. Reprimand her for lying to her boss. I think the boss knows what happened. Tell her not to worry as I have the pipe she needs. Really? Wow, you're so dependable. Unlike that machine. Or me. Can I see? Please? I'm kind of sort of freaking out about this here. Heat-proof inox pipe. Plumbing used on the White Whale. It's made from an experimental form of stainless steel and is believed to be eternally rust and corrosion-proof, no matter the external environment. That's perfect, thank you. Really? Now we can start offering espresso again, or for the first time, depending on how you look at it. Oh, right. Now, hold on just 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm going to fix you the best thank you latte ever! Sure. Oh, you're so sweet. Believe me, it's my pleasure. Honestly, it just feels nice to be able to give something to someone what they want. Seems like most blades prefer a stiff drink over a good cup of joe. But I'm going to pull out all the stops and make this the finest coffee creation of my career. Oh, I know. It's been hot lately, so why don't we make it an iced latte? You hold on to your seat now. I may be useless with machines, but I'm one mean bean slinger. Honestly, I don't like coffee or, Oh! I don't like coffee or alcohol. Huh? Joe, wait, where are you going? What happened to Joe? Beats me. She went to the back, screamed, then ran off. If I had to bet, I'd say she broke some kitchen equipment. Again. That girl is death to electronics. Register, customers' comm devices, you name it. She even managed to short-circuit a light bulb once. Frankly, nothing that breaks around her surprises me anymore. Are you a friend of hers? Would you mind checking on her and seeing if she's okay? I can't leave the shop, and I really need her back here as soon as possible. Thanks a lot. Holy brother, I have sinned. It's been 3 days since my last contraption. Ah, why do I have to wreck everything I touch? Sorry, Oh, it's you. I'm so sorry, your iced latte. I was trying to get the ice with the stupid freezer. I mean, and stupid me broke it. Console Joe by telling her we've all broken freezers. No, we haven't. Ask Joe how someone can even break a freezer. Did she break the door off? What? I don't know what I did. Maybe I muted powers and give off electromagnetic waves or something. That would explain why the espresso machine and the freezer both died the moment I got near them. Curse you, machine gods! Why have you forsaken me? Huh? My boss needs me back at the shop? I can't go back, not after all this! We've had a couple of L002 fuel tanks to repair the freezer, but now I just can't. I feel terrible asking, but can you help me out again? You're the only one I can turn to. I think I have them already. I just got a call from my boss. Coco's got to be pretty mad, right? Am I fired? Super fired? I'm probably super fired, huh? Not until Joshi's probably super fired. Everything will be just fine. Really think so? I mean, I guess I've burned through a dozen coffee makers and still kept my job, so... In any case, I need to go apologize. Oh, did you happen to find those L002 fuel tanks for me by any chance? I have 5! A fuel tank that formed part of the White Whale's propulsion drive system. It is said to be the height of fuel compression technology. Okay, then it's time to woman up and give the boss a call. You can do this, Joe. Wait, what? Why won't this thing turn on? Oh, you have got to be kidding me. I broke my comm device! It's like a bad dream. Keep your own device far, far away from this girl. I can tell what you're thinking, and believe me, I agree. It's true. I ruin everything. Classic Joe. Her mechanical troubles are proof of the divine at this point. Ma'am? I don't remember giving you a lunch break this long. Look, you really think blowing up a freezer or two is gonna faze me at this point? I want the best of everything for my coffee, including the best coffee maker, Joe, the Ballista Barista. I don't know what to say. How are you 2 years younger than me and yet so much more mature? Looks like you put Joe put you through the ringer as well. Here, this is from me. Please take it. After breaking the freezer and fleeing to the cathedral, Joe made up with her boss and returned to the cafe. Oh, come on, Joe. You and me have a freezer to fix. Yes, ma'am. And next time, that is if you're not totally sick of me, next time I swear I'll make you that latte. I hope to see you again soon at the Sunshine Cafe.
Did you actually?
Probes are installed and set up as mining probes. Perfect. You work fast? I'm sure that's part of what Nagi sees in you. It's a walk in the park. Alright there, rookie. Don't go getting a big head. This stuff should be easy. Try setting your comm device's display to Frontier Nav mode. See 3 sites circled in red and connected by link lines. That's a 3-site link combo. It boosts the effects of each of those data probes by 30%. You get that link combo up to 5 neighboring sites with the same data probe type set. The effects will be amplified by 50%. And an 8-probe link combo will net you an extra 80%. See where this is going? The more data probes of the same type you install on neighboring placement sites, the more efficient Frontier Nav and your related assignments will be. So, think you've got the hang of all of this chaining data probes jazz? Yep. Swift pupils make teaching a pleasure. Well then, I'd say that concludes your first assignment. You can have this research probe by way of a reward. Don't say I never gave you anything. I'll teach you about that one next, okay? It'll start the same way. I'll point you toward a new Frontier Nav probe site, and you'll go install a probe. Then you'll use your comm device to change its type to a research probe. Then on top of that, I want you to go find an unexplored territory known as the Rock Cavern. Good luck! Data probe link combos. Setting up data probes of the same type and grade in a row of chained sites will create a chain combo, increases the probe's performance. Even high-grade probes can work even better if you manage to chain them up. Oh, it's specifically 3, 5, or 8. I thought it was just gonna keep going. Okay.
So there you go. Too slow because I do nothing. Yeah. Sweet.
That's gonna be it for today. So when we come back next time, well, I have plenty of missions to do, not including the story mission that I'm still in the middle of. At any rate, that's gonna be all for today, so thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.